are really hiding. First, let's find out who Solomon and Hiram are, and what is Solomon's temple.
Temple of Solomon. According to the Hebrew Bible, Solomon's temple, also known as the First Temple, was the holy temple in ancient Jerusalem before its destruction by Nebuchadnezzar II after the siege of Jerusalem in 587 BCE. The temple was constructed under Solomon, king of the United Kingdom of Israel and Judah, and that during the Kingdom of Judah, the temple was dedicated to Yahweh, and is said to have housed the Ark of the Covenant.
Now we know what Solomon's temple is, and we can now understand why the Freemasons and subsequently the Scientologists have Jewish stars on their buildings, use Hebrew, and have biblically oriented degree names, like Noah, Tabernacle, and Solomon. We still don't know who Hiram Abif is, nor why there are so many references to pyramids. Regardless, Solomon's temple does not have any pyramids. So just who is this Hiram Abif guy anyway, and why are the Freemasons so gay for him?
Hiram Abif. Also Hiram Abif, or the widow's son, is the central character of an allegory presented to all candidates during the third degree in Freemasonry. Hiram is presented as the chief architect of King Solomon's temple, who is murdered in the temple he designed by three ruffians as they unsuccessfully attempt to force him to divulge the master mason's secret passwords. The themes of the allegory are the importance of fidelity, and the certainty of death.
Now we know that Masons believe Hiram Abif was the chief architect of the first temple, and we find that he is mentioned in the Tanakh. Let's see what it says in the word.
2 Chronicles chapter 2. Then Shlomo sent this message to Hiram the king of Tzor: "Deal with me, as you dealt with David my father when you sent him cedar logs, so that he could build himself a palace to live in. Here, I am about to build a house for the name of Adonai my God, to dedicate it to him, and to burn before him incense made of sweet spices. The house will also be for the continuing showbread and for the burnt offerings presented every morning and evening, on the Shabbats, at every Rosh Chodesh, and at the designated times of Adonai our God. This is a perpetual regulation for Israel. The house I will build will be great, because our God is greater than all gods. But who is equal to building him a house? Why, heaven itself, even the heaven of heavens, cannot contain him, so who am I to build him a house, except to offer sacrifices before him? Now, therefore, send me a man skilled at working with gold, silver, bronze and iron, dealing with purple, crimson, and blue-dyed materials, and capable of doing all kinds of engraving. He will be with the skilled craftsmen I have with me in Yehuda and Jerusalem, whom David my father provided. Also send me cedar, cypress and sandalwood logs from the Lebanon." Hiram the king of Tzor wrote this answer and sent it to Shlomo: "Because the Lord loves his people, he has made you king over them." Hiram continued: "Blessed be Adonai, the God of Israel, who made heaven and earth, who has given David the king a wise, knowledgeable son with common sense to build a house for Adonai and a royal palace for himself. Now I am sending a man of skill and understanding, my master craftsman Hiram, the son of a woman who was one of the daughters of Dan, while his father was a man from Tzor. He is skilled in working gold, silver, bronze, iron, stone, and timber, as well as purple and blue-dyed materials, fine linen and crimson material. He can do any kind of engraving, and he can make all the equipment necessary to accomplish any task assigned to him, with the help of your craftsmen and those of my lord David your father."
So Hiram supposedly possesses the ultimate secrets. It has something to do with the temple that David designed, and it is a secret only the highest levels know. Although the Masons claim it was designed by Hiram, the Tanakh states in 1 Chronicles chapter 28 verse 11, that David gave Solomon the designs for the temple. Solomon, being wise but inexperienced, contracted an outsider to do the job, and by doing so disregarded the instructions of his father, who said, "For every kind of work, you will have with you every man who is willing and skilled, for every kind of service." Let's take a look at the original worker class divisions for the construction of Solomon's temple.
Shlomo took a census of all the foreigners in the land of Israel, following the pattern of the census of David his father. They were found to number 153,600. He appointed 70,000 of them to carry loads, 80,000 to be stonecutters in the hills, and 3,600 as supervisors to assign the people their work.
We know the entirety of Freemason law as an allegory based off the construction of Solomon's temple. When we look into the origins of the ranking pyramid, we notice this line: Solomon took a census following the pattern of the census of David his father. Turning back few pages to 1 Kings 21 verse 1, we notice it says, "The adversary now rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census of Israel." A few sentences later we see that this census resulted in the deaths of 70,000 Israelis before Yahweh's wrath subsided. Moreover, when David first attempted to build the temple, he was immediately admonished by God, who said to David, "Did I ask to have a temple built for me?" So when Solomon took this census and organized his workers according to the pattern of David, it was really Satan's organization structure at the heart of it all. Just like in Scientology, where they wait until you are high-ranking enough to unveil the real secret of ZNU. Rumor has it, at some unknown ranking in Freemasonry, say the 7th degree, they actually take an outright oath to serve Satan. You see, the thing about this is, when these people are taking oaths, they are actually swearing oaths on the lives of their kids as well as themselves. Take a look at this statue of George Washington at the Masonic Memorial in Washington, D.C. He is holding the knife up to his own heart. The oath is along the lines of, "If I do not take these secrets to the grave but reveal these secrets or leave Freemasonry, then may my life, and the lives of my children, be taken." The